Welcome back. Now, it takes a lot to get Facebook's boss, Mark Zuckerberg, into a suit and tie, a $2 billion court case, for example. And that's what's happening right now in Dallas, as he usually dresses down. But Mr. Zuckerberg defending his company against accusations that it stole virtual reality technology. The video game company ZeniMax Media claims its early innovations in virtual reality were unlawfully copied when a company owned by the social media giant built its own headset. Well, BBC technology reporter Jane Wakefield told me more about this lawsuit.
Was stolen by Facebook, and Mark Zuckerberg has actually taken the stand now to defend it. It's interesting to watch it because not only is he going to sort of defend and explain more about how Facebook is going to work with Oculus going forward, but we'll also talk about sort of Facebook's vision for virtual reality technology.
And just talk me through essentially what he's accused of and what his defence is, because there are two players, Palmer Luckey and John Carmack, who are critical to all of this. Just explain their role.
So John Carmack was the founder of a company called IDsoft, who are owned by ZeniMax and are the company that works on gaming technology. And the claim is that when he left this company, he took the intellectual property that ZeniMax, as the parent company, owned to Oculus. And the role of Palmer Luckey is around the fact that he founded Oculus, and they're claiming that when he showed off this technology to Facebook, you know, he relied entirely on ZeniMax to get to where it was, and he didn't have the technical expertise himself to develop these things. Facebook, on the other hand, argue that a lot of the technology that we see in Oculus now was developed by them, and that actually this company had very little interest in VR.
Well, let's talk more about this. With me now is Adam Shepherd, a writer for IT Pro, who's particularly interested in the emerging VR market. Thank you so much for being here with us. Now, ZeniMax's lawyer described it as the biggest technology heist in history. What is your take on this whole lawsuit?
Well, it's difficult to judge because a lot of the case hinges on John Carmack and his contract with ZeniMax. Now, John Carmack is a legendary game developer who co-founded id Software, who were the developers of Doom. He's credited as being one of the leading lights of early game design. And id Software was acquired by ZeniMax. And he was working for ZeniMax when Palmer Luckey was first developing the Oculus prototype, and he collaborated with Palmer Luckey a lot on it. Now, ZeniMax are asserting that a lot of the work he did for Oculus and for Luckey was covered under his contract, that work he did is, legally speaking, the property of ZeniMax.
Now, of course, Facebook, in rebuttal, say, look, they didn't invest in it, so we took it over, and we did all of the investment and all of the developments since then. What did Facebook see, do you think, that ZeniMax didn't?
Well, Facebook are looking to grow and expand their platform and change the way that we interact with social media, because a lot of the ways that we interact with Facebook is primarily text-based, but they're moving into images. They've invested heavily in 360-degree video, for example, that now displays natively on Facebook's mobile platforms and on their web-based platform. So they're looking really for people to change the way they use social media with VR.
And it has just huge, huge potential, doesn't it? I mean, this is a $2 billion lawsuit, but I mean, the potential for this market, its applications, its usage, it is way beyond that.
Massively beyond that. Because what you have to remember as well is it's not just the entertainment and gaming and social media aspects that are really exciting about the VR industry. The things that are really exciting are the verticals like healthcare, business, manufacturing. For example, a heart surgeon live streamed a open heart surgery earlier, not this year, but in 2016. And the Bank of England, John Soane's Bank of England, was recently recreated in virtual reality by an architecture firm. And that's an architectural marvel that's been lost to history for hundreds of years that is now available as a virtual environment.
And briefly, just a couple of sentences. If they were to lose this, the impact, do you think, for Facebook?
Well, as you mentioned, it's a $2 billion lawsuit, but one of the potential impacts is it could result in ZeniMax being awarded an equity stake in Oculus, because they originally were in discussions with Oculus before the merger about potentially receiving an equity stake.
So quite a few ramifications. Adam Shepherd, we have to leave it there, but thanks for joining us. Thanks to you for joining us and watching. We'll see you at the same time tomorrow. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.